So in this video, we are going to learn how to add account details of Swell to Google Sheet. Now suppose guys, you have created your e-commerce store using Swell and you are selling some products. Now you want, whenever a user creates a new account on your e-commerce store, you want to add the details of this newly created account into the Google Sheet. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be account creation by a user on our Swell store. And the action will be addition of these newly created account details into a Google Sheet. Now guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on the Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get the free sign up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on create workflow and give your workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Swell to Google Sheets. And then just click on create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, first we have to get the details or the data of new account that are being created on our Swell store inside Pabbly Connect. Then after getting those details in Pabbly Connect, we are going to send that same data to the Google Sheet. Now to begin with, here in trigger window in choose app, we have to search for Swell. Select Swell over here. And then in trigger event from the drop down, select account created. Because we want the data of whenever a new account is created in our Swell store, we want to get that data in Pabbly Connect. Then after selecting our trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we are going to connect our Swell account with Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. So just go to the home page of your Swell account, and after that on the left side you can see different options over here, and out of which there is a option named as developer. And under developer, you will find webhooks. Click on webhooks. After clicking on webhooks, click on this add webhook button, and here in this dialog box, just paste this webhook URL over here. After that, just ignore the alias and description, and here under events in the drop down below, we can see a long list of events over here, out of which we have to select account.created as the event. If you have any kind of confusions or doubt regarding your event selection, you can refer to the help text given below over here in Pabbly Connect. It is clearly mentioned that which event you want to select. So account.created, we have selected this event and just click on save. After that, once again click on this save changes, and that is it. We have successfully connected our Pabbly Connect account with Swell website or Swell store. Now whenever a new account will be created on our Swell store, we are going to get that details of that newly created account in Pabbly Connect. And we are going to do the same. So using the details of a new user, we are going to create a new account on Swell store. So just copy the link of your Swell store, go to the incognito tab and paste the link. And now we are going to create a new account. Just click on this create new account section, the login section, click on create account, and let's enter the details. For example, I would like to name my user as, or for example, dummy user. So this is the name of the person. This is the email address of the new customer or new account which we are creating. And then let's enter the password as well. And click on create account. Now you can see that just now we have created a new account on our Swell store. As a new user, as a dummy user, we have registered. And because we have connected our Swell account with Pabbly Connect, we will see the details of this account instantly will be captured inside Pabbly Connect as well. So here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we can see we have received some response. And in this response, we will see the details of the same user which we have entered while creating this account. So we have the event type that account is created, account.created. Then we have the date and time, that at what date and time we have created the account. Then we will scroll down and we can see the name of the user as well. So whatever name we have entered, the dummy user, the same name which we have entered while creating this account, the same name is received over here in this response. Then we'll scroll down, we'll have the email address. We also have the default currency for that particular customer who has created the account, and once again the date and the time. And also the contact ID, the account ID over here. So in this way, we can see that the connection between Swell and Pabbly Connect is working absolutely fine. We have successfully received the data of new account being created on our Swell store inside Pabbly Connect. Now let's move to step 2 and send these new account details to Google Sheet. For that, we will scroll down and come to our action window. And here in Choose App, we will search for Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets over here. And after that, in Action Event from the drop-down, select Add New Row. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, just click on this Connect with Google Sheets button, select your Google Sheets account, scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our new account, our Google Sheets account will be and as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Sheets account get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. So in the drop-down below, we can see a list of all the spreadsheets which are present in our Google Sheets account can be seen over here. And out of all of these spreadsheets, the spreadsheet in which I want to add this new account details is named as new user. So I have created this sheet. So we will be selecting this sheet over here. After selecting our spreadsheet, the next thing it asks us is to select the sheet. In the drop-down below, right now we can see only one option of sheet 1. This is because right now in this spreadsheet, I have only one sheet named as sheet 1. So if your spreadsheet have multiple sheets, you have to basically select whatever sheet in which you want to add this data. After selecting the sheet, all the columns of data which we have created in our Google Sheet can be seen over here in Pabbly Connect as fields. Data ID, created date time, first name, last name, email and currency. We can see all of these fields. So guys, we have to basically map the data in which field, in which column, what data we want to add in these rows. So here guys, in place of data ID, we wanted to mention the data ID, this data ID over here, the contact ID over here. Now guys, we have to basically map this data ID from this response of Swell to Google Sheets step. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and from the drop down below, we can see that all the responses which we have received from Swell of a new account being created, we can see all of those responses over here. And out of all of these responses, we are going to select this response of data ID and it will be mapped over here. So whatever data ID will be generated by Swell, we will be getting that data ID in response in Pabbly Connect and the same data ID will be added into the Google Sheet. Now we have to follow the same process of mapping for other steps as well, like created date and time. So we have also received the created date and time, that at what date and time this account was created. But this date and time is available or received by us in Pabbly Connect in a pretty complex format. This is not the format of date and time which we use in day-to-day life. It is quite tough to read. So guys, what we are going to do, we are going to change the format of this date and time. For that, we will just scroll down and click on this Add Action Step button over here. And here in Choose App, we are going to search or select the feature of Pabbly Connect, and that is Date Time Formatter. Search for Date Time Formatter, select it over here. And after selecting Date Time Formatter, in Action Event from the drop-down, select Format Date with Time Zone. So guys, the data which we receive in this response is basically received in UTC time format. But I am here in India and the time zone which we follow in India is Asia Kolkata. So I want to add the date and time according to the Asia Kolkata time zone. So we are going to change the time zone of this date as well. So just select Date Time Formatter, Format Date with Time Zone, click on Connect. And then the first thing it asks us is the date. That what is the date whose format and time zone we want to change. So we want to change the format and time zone of this particular date. So what we are going to do, we are going to map this date over here. Just click here and from the drop down below from the responses of Swell, select this response of date created and then it will be mapped. Then we have to select from format, that in which format this date and time is currently present. And in the drop down below, we can see a long list of formats. So this is the format in which this date and time is currently present. So we have to select this format. Then in to format, we have to select that in which format we want to convert or change this date and time into. So this is the format of day, month, year, hours, minutes and seconds. This is a pretty easy, pretty readable format and I want to convert or change this date and time into this particular format. So we are going to select this format over here. Then it is asking us from time zone, that in according to what time zone we have received this data. So as I told you, we have received it according to UTC time zone. So we are going to select UTC and then two time zone. In which time zone, according to which time zone we want to change the data or change the state. So we want to change it according to Asia Kolkata. So just select Asia Kolkata or whatever time zone you want over here. If you just don't want to change the time zone, you can just ignore this as well. And then just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here we have received the response, and the response we can see that we have the same date and time but in pretty readable format. So the 2nd of November 2022, that is today's date, and 3:33 p.m. that was the time when we have created this account just now. So after getting this date, we have to basically map this date over here in this created date and time field. But because we have added a new data before this step, just click on this connected button and then select existing connection. Just select your latest connection which we have used and click on save. And after once again connecting our Google Sheets account, just select the same sheet once again over here and select sheet 1. Okay, so this is showing us the data of wrong sheet. Let me refresh it once. And yeah, here we can see that. So same fields which we have created in our Google Sheet. Now after this guys, let's map the data ID once again. From the drop down below, we have this response of data ID. And in created date and time, this time from the drop down, we are going to map the date and time which we have received from date time formatter. Just select that date and time and map it. Then let's map the first name from the Swell responses of a new account. This is the response of first name, map it. Let's map the last name as well. Last name, email address. This is the response of email and the currency as well. So this is currency. In this way, you can basically map any data which you have received from Swell into your step of Google Sheet. And after mapping all of these details, just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here we can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped, basically the details of a new user who has created an account on our Swell store, is been added as a new row in Google Sheet. So let's check our Google Sheet. And yes guys, here you can see that we have successfully received the details or the data of the user who has just created the account. We have the data ID, created date and time, we have the first name, last name, email and the currency of that account as well. So whenever a new account will be created in our Swell store, automatically the details of that newly created account, that newly created user will be added as a new row in our Google Sheet. And guys, after setting up this automation, what we have to do, we have to just test this automation once in real time. So now we can see that the automation which we have created is working perfectly fine. So every time a new user will create an account on our Swell store, automatically the details of that new user using this automation will be added as a new row in our Google Sheet. So not just these applications guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestions and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.